Hi, welcome back to Vulnerable Pete, and in today's video I've got my friend David with me. And an interesting fact about David is he's one of the few people, or perhaps the only person I know, who actually has his own personality type system that he himself has created. And so I guess just to start with, David, do you have a name for this personality type system, and do you think you could give a description of it?
So my personality system is to divide everyone between cats and dogs. I guess I started doing this a long time ago. And I don't know if other people do this or if I copied it off someone, but I tend to think about people about whether they're a cat or a dog, and that helps me to understand them. And I guess it's a system, a bit like the Myers-Briggs, but it's just in my head.
It's one of those things, like, I don't want people to feel like it's the same as some people are described as being cat people and some people are described as being dog people, but it's quite different to that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not like whether you like cats or dogs, it's whether you are a cat or a dog. So you might have like the qualities of a cat, or you might have some of the qualities of a dog. And actually everyone is a little bit cat and a little bit dog. But some people are much more of one type than the other.
I guess I would say that you lean a bit cat-like in your system.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely a cat. And that's not to say that dog types are not good people. Like, they're cool people themselves, if you're a dog. But I think I happen to be a cat. I guess like the theory as I've worked it out is that I always point at people, like friends, and say, he's a cat, she's a dog, she's a cat, he's a dog. But that's not very good if you don't know my friends. So when you said that you were going to interview me, I did a bit of a diagram and I wrote down some of the qualities that I associate with cats and dogs.
Okay.
And then with myself, for example, some of the cat qualities that I associate with myself is that I like to create mystery to lure people in. I kind of like my independence and personal space. I hold grudges, maybe prefer to be approached.
Rather than doing the approaching, you prefer people to come to you.
Yeah, and I guess I won't read them all right now, but there's some of the qualities that I think I have that are along the cat line.
Cats have got a wide amount of personality attributes, but in general, I think we can agree cats are the types that well, actually, that doesn't work, does it? Because cats often want to be the one to choose to approach you.
Yeah, it gets complicated. I mean, I've had a dog the last couple of years. My partner bought a dog, and up until that time, I'd had cats. So having a dog really helped me to flesh out my ideas about what a dog is and what type of temperament dogs have. And so it's not as like simple, for example, loyalty. Dogs are known to have loyalty, but I think cats are quite loyal too. Like dogs, my dog, she's basically a prisoner at our house because she's always on the lead, or we keep her in the house. We don't really let her off the lead because she doesn't understand traffic. So she doesn't have any chance to show her loyalty, even though she's very loyal with us and seems to love us. Whereas cats, they often, they're allowed to kind of roam, and even though you give them the privilege of leaving, they tend to come back. So they sort of show their loyalty in different ways.
You got to be open up. You got to be open to it.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know. There is crossover, and I don't 100% understand. I guess I'm not an expert on cats and dogs, but I have my views on what sort of qualities cats and dogs have, and then this feeds into the theory.
Can you run by some of the dog attributes? What makes a person lean dog?
A dog is emotional, but they're quite practical in relation to their principles. Like, I think cats are very strong on their ethics, and they don't really change, but a dog is quite practical, and
they might bend their inner principles for the good of the tribe.
Yeah, potentially. Like, they might be quite stubborn, but then you can easily convince them. They might be wanting to go this way, but then you can then you can convince them to go this way, and then they're stubborn in that direction.
Yeah,
So-
isn't that interesting? They've changed course immediately, but the
Yeah,
way they're going, and they'll stick to it.
yeah, they're quite practical that way, I think. Some other dog qualities are they have a good sense of humor, I think, and they're in touch with their sense of fun. They hate someone who's hiding. Like, that's the sort of thing that my dog hates the most.
you
If someone's just standing around behind a corner and they look like they're hiding to my dog, that's something that my dog really hates. And I think it might be because dogs are a bit more upfront and earnest with their personality.
More earnest, yeah. I've noticed that with, not maybe in a big way, but I can't imagine dogs enjoying, any dog particularly, playing along with hide and seek in that sense.
No, they don't seem to. In my experience, dogs don't like hide and seek.
Whereas if you do it to a cat,
They love it.
they actually,
Yeah.
people, you think cats are like don't have much expression, but I find cats are very startled, and I think they kind of enjoy it.
I think cats are quite fascinated by mystery, and
Yeah.
and they have like mystery, like their claws are hidden, whereas a dog sort of has teeth and a bark and a bite. They don't really hide their sharp claws, or
Yeah.
I sort of think of that as a mystery that is in cats.
Cats, it comes out like quite a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how about in terms of relating that, I guess, back to people? Like a lot of the time we'd think of an introvert. An introvert would be more of a cat.
I guess so, yeah. And maybe an extrovert, you think of them as a bit more like a dog. They want to bound up and approach people. They're kind of happy or enthusiastic. And then sometimes a cat or an introvert, I guess, might shy away from that and kind of feel like they've had their space invaded.
It's interesting. Do you think there would be a preconception that we would be more inclined to say that there are more female humans who are cats compared to males being dogs, or is that? I feel like that would be a misconception.
I think it is, yeah. I mean, my partner is a female, and I classify her as having a dog personality.
I noticed she once. I'm not sure if she rolled her eyes, but I think once we brought up your cat dog personality type system, and I felt like she was a bit dismissive.
I guess she's like a bit more scientific in her views because she is a scientist. I want to say that's exactly what a dog would do, but I can't really say exactly why a dog would do that.
No. No.
Yeah.
And sorry to put you on the spot, but in terms of me, see, I would immediately classify myself as a cat, but what would your impression be of me in terms of your personality type system?
I guess I would probably put you as more cattish. I guess, yeah, you have some similar qualities to me in that you're, I don't know, I guess playful, but you also kind of like to have your own space or be a bit independent and free-flowing, and I think they're sort of qualities that I have that I kind of see in you. And yeah, I mean, you might have some doggish qualities as well, but because I think you have some loyalty, but as we're sort of discussing, cats also have loyalty, so
A different kind of loyalty.
yeah.
And maybe a bit more stubborn with the principles, like as you were saying, like a dog might change direction if you tell it and committed to that direction, but that's not the same kind of loyalty. Like as cats, I think maybe we would stick to that direction. That, no, we're going in this direction.
Yeah, cats are loyal to their principles, I think.
Yeah.
And they won't swerve away from that.
Now, in terms of the Myers-Briggs system, or just in terms of the Jungian theories of personality type, do you think there's any crossover potentially? For instance, we might be inclined to say that the INFP personality type would be more likely to be classified as a cat in your system. Do you think there's a crossover?
That's probably true. But I guess I'm not so expert on the Myers-Briggs that I can really, like as we were discussing it before we started filming, there wouldn't be much use for my cat and dog theory if it perfectly fitted onto the Myers-Briggs, because then you would just be able to rely on the Myers-Briggs.
And then, yeah, what's the point in your theory? And
Yeah, I like to think that the cat-dog theory adds something extra that can't just be mapped perfectly onto Myers-Briggs or other theories.
I think that's common with, there are a lot of different type theories being made, and sometimes they stem from the Jungian principles, and some of them are completely different. And I think your one doesn't stem from Carl Jung, it's more from within yourself.
And the animal world.
And the animal world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the domestic
and
animal world.
The domestic animal world. And I think, like we were saying, we might be more inclined to say introvert could be more cats, could lean a bit more that way. However, but it's not all, like all these things are not clear cut. So do you think, if somebody just loves dogs, but they could be a cat?
Oh, definitely. Just because you love dogs doesn't mean you're not a cat. And vice versa, I guess. It's about looking in yourself and seeing what traits that you have that might align with cats or dogs rather than what qualities you like to see in a pet.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you think there is a possibility that this typing system that you've created could become larger than it currently is?
Yeah, it could. I guess if I wanted to go further down the path of elaborating it all, I could divide it up into different types of dogs and different types of cats, like is it the Maine Coon or a Siamese cat or a Dalmatian dog?
These are different varieties of cat and dog.
Jack Russell. Yeah, it's like got a lot of room for fleshing it out, like, and taking it further. But I'm not quite at that stage yet because I don't really know all the types of cats and dogs that well. And that seems like a lot of work to really develop it.
Do you like the idea as well of it being a bit more of a private thing or something that is just known within your own personal community? Maybe it doesn't get corrupted that way.
I mean, I had never really written it down until this week, and it didn't feel like a corruption to write down all these qualities. It actually felt kind of good because then I could explain it to people. But I guess I don't have any big desire to spread it around the world. It's just something that I find valuable myself and that I like to chat to friends about.
So you don't think there's like any monetary plans for this?
No, I don't have any grand plans that I want to take over the world with it, or to turn it into a commercial thing at the moment.
Maybe because you're a cat, you're sticking to that principle.
Yeah, I guess they're the principles that I have, and I'm holding on to them like a cat.
How do you think this system could help people in terms of self-growth? And to add on to that question, do you think maybe organisations and corporations would benefit by using it?
Oh yeah, definitely. For example, I've got a friend who's a dog type, and she was having trouble with a person, like in a personal relationship. And I was quite helpful in giving her some advice in that, because I could recognize that the person she was having trouble with was a cat. And I could see that my friend was, I said to my friend, you should channel your inner cat because this other cat that you're dealing with needs a bit of personal space. And you're trying to fill that space with being a bit even more doggish and coming in and, you know, being even more friendly and getting in this person's grill. But they're a cat and they just want a little bit of independence. And I think that was like good advice for my friend. And so it can be really good for understanding the dynamics of relationships. So that's like good for personal growth with relationships. And then in a workplace culture, you know, workplaces are full of cats and dogs, and being aware of where people are coming from and being able to navigate relationships with other species, you know, dog species or cat species, humans, would be really quite a helpful thing, I think, in the modern workplace.
I would love to be in an organisation that actually has a proper session educating people about this fact, because I think, like a lot of these personality type systems, they shouldn't be about putting someone into a box. And as you say, people are part dog, part cat. But it does help people, I think, to open up their minds to the fact that other people are just different and have different natures. And because cats and dogs are so relatable, humans, I think it's a really practical way of opening up people's minds to the differences and different approaches of people, because it is a serious cause of conflict, I think, people not recognising.
I guess lots of people have experience with cats and dogs from when they've had a pet at different points. So people are quite expert on the qualities of cats and dogs. And so that gives you, if you apply that onto humans, that gives you immediately some expertise when you come to approach human personalities and human relationships. I mean, I would be interested in anyone who watches this video if they, I mean, maybe people do the same thing themselves, or I don't know, I'd be interested in finding out whether people think this is a good way of seeing the world.
Definitely leave a note in the comments, and just let me know any thoughts that you've got. Let us know whether you think maybe you lean more cat or more dog, and whether you think it's a helpful system, and if it's also the way that maybe you view different people that you meet. Anyway, thanks for coming on the show, David, and it's been a fascinating chat. And let me know your thoughts in the comments once again, and see you next time.
Do you want me to do something like, just like be like a bit of a cat, like?